I just truly have never meant to ever take a slash at anyone else that does music, because I respect it and I know what the grind's like. Hey, my name is eaJ, and today we are here with 17 for a look back on my career. This is then versus now. I have personally been in show business for the past decade or so, and I am going to show you how all the ways that my career has changed. I think before, especially if you think all the way back to the beginning in which I had to learn new songs, get on stage, perform for the first time. And the first time I performed, it was in front of millions of people, which was not fun. You could literally see my lips quivering if you kind of just scroll back into the history of my beginnings, but definitely a lot longer back then for sure. It still takes me a little bit of time right now, being probably the untalented goldfish that I am, but the memory problems do seem to be biting hard. The age 30 is starting to show just a little bit. Wow, that's a great one. I really used to care about how I look and how I presented myself, and I think that probably should be my mindset, but one, I am a super lazy person, therefore I can't be bothered spending 30-20 minutes trying to figure out an outfit for today. And I also kind of just lost interest in how I look and what people think about me after a while, because you realize that, does it really matter? Like, I'm not sure, it probably does. People see pictures of you at the airport, they're like, oh my God, he dresses so well. Me 10 years ago would have probably said, yes, very important for my future and my career. And now I think, what future? At the beginning of my career, my second audition, so that audition program K-pop star worked like this. You would work yourself from stage 1 to like stage 10. The second stage, I actually cracked. I still passed around, so that was like striving, proud moments in my life where I kind of just cracked and played it off as if I had been in the music industry and had been on stage so many times, and I felt a little proud of myself even though the performance wasn't the greatest. And now I'm gonna have to say probably the most freeing experience was my stage like half a year ago-ish at Head in the Clouds. And it was the first time that I had stood alone since the beginning of my career on a stage, being who I was, and it was one of the few moments in the recent history, in the recent past that I've known, where I kind of got to be who I was to the fullest, and it was great. So I would have to say at the beginning of my career, my influences were definitely a lot of Brian McKnight. Jason Mraz was and still is a really big influence to my music today. I take songs and I kind of dissect them. I can't confidently tell you that I take a song and take influence from it, but I definitely take influence from a lot of pieces of separate songs. So I think the way that my brain functions with influences has changed a little bit in the last decade. So if you look back to the beginning of my career, you could see my lips trembling on stage and my legs absolutely won't stop shaking, can't stay in place. And I can't hold a note to save my life. And not that I can hold one now, but let's fast forward 10 years later, all the way to the Head in the Cloud stage that I did. I seem very confident. It is half an act, but I do feel a lot better about being on stage. And I think just the bottom line is, and this might be a little tip for everyone who's afraid of, oh, I feel like I'm talented and I feel like I have so much to give to the world, but I'm afraid of the stage and I don't think I can show my full talent and ability. Happens to the best of us. Happens to literally everybody. You could ask your favorite artist how they felt getting on stage for the first time, and they're gonna tell you the same thing. They were scared. The more you get on stage, the more you get used to it, and the more you become a little bit numb to that kind of fear and those kinds of irrational, what if I can't do this here, but I've done it 12,000 times in the shower by myself. It goes away. It gets better, I promise. Ooh. So when I first started my career, Frank Ocean had just dropped A Tornado Came Around. Channel Orange was so crazy. And it's really funny because I still listen to that album. And I listened to it in a different way because at that time, I just thought, oh, this is such a catchy song. Like the falsetto is so beautiful, like, you know what I mean? But now I kind of like dissect the song and I realize the genius of the artist behind it. I'm just like, wow, you were so stupid. How did you only hear that when you could have heard all of this? I still go back and listen to a lot of albums that I listened to back then, and I think I still listen to a lot of the same artists. Ooh, okay. In the beginning of my career, I would have probably said Justin Bieber, and I'm gonna say the same thing now. Actually, now that I think about it, in that perspective, that's insane. Because that's when he dropped like Mistletoe. And I was like, this guy's voice is insane. Because that was when he came off of a separate single that he had before that. And then he changed, he started going to puberty and his voice like got lower. And then he had like this husk and like this air. And I was like, this is mind blowing. There's no one in pop with this kind of voice right now. I'm going crazy listening to his voice. And he's still kind of just breaking a lot of spectrums with like how rhythmic he is in his top lines, and it's just, I'm fanboying a little bit. I think belief in oneself is a little undervalued and underestimated. I think the difference between an artist and a singer are very different. I think a singer is very technically, vocally talented, and everywhere you go, you'll hear people that are amazing all over YouTube, all over TikTok, these social media platforms. You'll hear people belting notes, singing low notes, going crazy on like crazy riffs, and they're very technically advanced. And then you see, I think, artists who are on TikTok as well, who are on social media platforms, who get on stage and make you feel something. And I think the difference in that is they believe what they're saying. I think I would have thought that technicality and all that stuff back in the day was important, but now I think you don't have to be a good singer to be a great artist. I think people wow for great singers and people are moved by great musicians. At the beginning of my career, I wanted to be famous and party and have a lot of money. Now, I'm too old to party. I would still love to have a lot of money, but I just want to be respected as a musician. And I feel like a lot of people are upset with me because I've made a lot of mistakes in the past where it seems like I may be disrespecting other artists. And I just truly have never meant to ever take a slash at anyone else that does music, because I respect it and I know what the grind's like. And that was my interview with 17. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please leave in the comments how you guys think I've changed over the years. Also, don't forget to stream Car Crash. We are doing phenomenal, and please look forward to the rest of my music that's going to be coming out in the near future. And I will see you guys next time. Once again, this was eaJ, and I'll see you later. Bye.